Okay, it's time for the real challenge. Transcendence Final Gate, the Reckoning. And challenging it was. I'm not going to pay much mind to people that are going around and saying that this stage is easy, because it's not. I'm just going to be real. I've kind of had differing opinions than a lot of other content creators as far as the Luffy easy meme or whatever. But just to keep all things fair and to keep it real, this fight's not easy. It's definitely on the more difficult side of Luffy fights we've gotten in the past. There's a couple reasons for that, mainly because of the heavy synergy bias. And that is the case for a lot of other Luffinias too, but it's more, I'd say it's more prevalent here than probably any other Lufinia fight I could think of. Close second would be the Medusas with Onion Knight. Like, they really were just begging you to pull for Onion Knight for that. But this one is like, they really want you to have Gabranth and Paladin Cecil. So it's like the urge to pull in order to beat this is definitely there if you haven't pulled for these characters. I mean, there's always the argument of, well, you know, it's permanent content, you know, you can just wait, which is true, you can. But I'm not about to wait, so I went ahead and pulled. And thank you, Gabranth, for showing up with a couple of tickets, because I am broke after everything that's happened recently. And I'm very happy he showed up, because especially for this wave right here, this is definitely the Gabranth wave. For those who don't remember, these bosses are called the Effect, these like evil ass looking mermaid things. This is from the Ulti event. That's where we first saw these things. They like to gain a ton of Brave and make you hit ones. Yep, they're doing that mechanic again, making you hit ones. Every single stage in this Transcendence does that. See, here we go, Aqua Power. This is based on thresholds, and other times it seems like they just do it randomly. They'll just attack you and then do it. But there's definitely moments where it's threshold based, like right here. But the Gabranth LD shuts it down. Watch. Done. Nothing to worry about. So you see what I'm saying? They're definitely encouraging you to pull for him in order to beat this. You don't have to, but he's very helpful. He's also really good at countering the orb, which is gone now, but this is a debuff orb. It's similar to the Keiss Lufinia, where you have to inflict two debuffs at once, like per turn. And Gabranth just kind of makes the orb non-existent. I mean, between his skill 1 that just puts a bunch of debuffs on, and then whenever they take a turn, the debuffs get refreshed. It's yeah, it's really helpful. With all his breaks and stuff. And then for a third slot, I thought Keiss was perfect, because not so much here. I mean, he's good here too, but for the next wave. The next wave is... ooh, the next wave can be rough. They just throw a lot at you, really. But the next wave, that orb is... I think... I'm a little hazy on that orb. The orb wasn't really the problem, but that's because I have Paladin Cecil. If you don't, it might be a problem. But the HP sap that they do, I mean, you'll see it happen. It's threshold based, of course. You get them down to, I think it's like 80... 50, like 30, you know, the standard thresholds, where once they get under it, they'll start healing. Okay, I'm done. We'll see that when we get there. We're just gonna tackle this for now. I will say though that this is not the first run I did of this. I did a couple. The first time I went through it was I brought Cloud instead of Keiss, and I beat it, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I mismanaged the hell out of that fight. Like, it wasn't pretty. Definitely could have done better, and I'm like, you know what? No, this channel deserves better than that. So I went back in with Ramza, and that worked out really well. And that's not a knock against Cloud. Cloud is really good for this stage too. He would have been better if he had his LD boards, but even so, he's still really good for this. But I just wasn't doing it right, I'll be real with you. So maybe I'll try something else. I went with Ramza, and it went a lot smoother. And then I was like, you know what? I haven't really seen much Keiss here. I think I've maybe seen one other person bring Keiss here. A bunch of other people brought Cloud or Ramza, so I'm like, you know what? I'll go with Keiss. You know, he's a new character. I've missed playing him. And he didn't disappoint. He's really good here. He's actually good for both waves, because, you know, you've got the Brave gain that these things do. If you decide to Brave attack with Keiss in the midst of a launch, All enemy brave. Okay, or the enemy you're targeting. The enemy's brave will be reduced to 0. That's right, his brave attack in a chase is gravity based. It just eats all of the brave. So if you're in a pinch, you can do that. I lucked out on Gabranth, so I didn't need to utilize that here, but for those who didn't, consider Keiss. He's a good option. Other good options are Arciella would be awesome. Really good. Because she can take care of the orb, like inflicting the debuffs. And she'd be good for the next wave to just silence that recast. Because they get kind of HP spammy, these masks in the next wave. The Arciella can shut that down. There is no holy condition for this one, which is nice. You don't have to hit holy, but having Enchanting Peril definitely helps. Paladin's max HP for the party helps a lot for both of these waves, especially the next one. Oh, I remember this right here. This is when I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, see, I meant to look over at the other one and do that. Because I wanted Keiss to battery mid-launch. That's really what I wanted, but that's fine. Yeah, because then... Yeah, Gabranth could have batteried Keiss in the air, and then Keiss could have batteried more. That would have been better, but it's fine. Not a big deal. They're about dead anyway, getting close. Yeah, that LD, that Paladin LD is a godsend for this fight. It really is. Yeah, I mentioned this before, but I did see someone, this is on the Japanese server, somebody beat this with Jack, Arciella, and Ramza with the burst. Took forever, like 90 something turns, but whatever works, man. Like if you missed out on some of these characters, you know, we do have options. If you gotta play your cards right though, every turn counts. In retrospect, I probably should have not done that there. Because now I have one Keiss LD for the final wave, which isn't great. Gabranth's EX animation is one of my favorites. Not just the animation, but just the way he sounds when he's doing it. It just sounds so brutal. I'm a big fan of it. It just sounds like he did not come to play. I don't know. There's something about it I really like. So, I know I could be launching a lot more with this dude, but we gotta save those hero supports for the next wave. They're pretty crucial. We are taking a lot of breaks, but that's fine. There we go. Get a little bit of battery so that Keiss doesn't get cracked open here. Perfect. Alright, hit him with the Spirit Bomb. Smoked fish. And the masks. They are fire absorb, if you couldn't tell. You know, them being bathed in fire is probably a dead giveaway, but in case you were unaware, they absorb fire. Okay. So the timing can be weird. That's why I brought the Ramza call for Paladin. And I'm not gonna lie, I just forgot to use it. I kind of just forgot that my calls were there at one point. And then you'll see it, I know, spoiler alert, I guess, whatever. But I notice it towards the end of the fight, where, like, they're in the red, they're about to be taken out, and then I scroll past to see how many LDs do I have left with Paladin. I'm like, oh, there's both uses of the Ramza call that I just didn't use. So that really helped just bring this home. But it would have been more properly timed earlier on because of that annoying mechanic they have. You'll see it when we get there. And it's not one of those things where, you know, you trigger... Yeah, what did I trigger? Jesus. Let me try speaking again. Wow. It's not one of those things where you trigger one threshold and then the mechanic comes up for both. No, it's one at a time. So the damage distribution is very key here, because otherwise it's just going to be a total mess. Like, you want to try to keep them even, but at the same time keep them off of you. It's a lot to contend with. That recast, that single target recast, can be pretty bad. But Paladin and Gabranth help with that a lot, because we have Paladin max HP up and Gabranth C65 for damage reduction, which I don't think we even used here. I don't remember if we used it or not. I don't think we ended up needing it, but in a pinch it's really helpful. Oh, this. Yeah, this is a mistake. I should have just... Yeah. Okay. Now look. Look when they get a turn. See, their laugh. That laugh is horrible too. My God. Yeah. They'll do that until you launch them. They heal, they sap you, and they gain a shit ton of brave. See, look, we launched the one, not the other, so now he's still gaining stuff. So now we gotta set up this launch for Gabranth. How obnoxious is that? That's horrible. There we go. Okay. But Ramza call's good. I mean, I didn't time it right here, but I'll just explain it, I guess. If you get them to where they're both like that, you can Ramza call, launch one, and then with your turn after the call, just launch the other one. So then you don't have to deal with constant HP sapping. It's just they get into the stance. If you time it where they both get into the stance at the same time, you can just Ramza call one and then attack the other one, and then it's gone. So, look, I want to press it so badly right now, because right now I'm looking at it and seeing it's there, but now is not a good time. But we should burst really soon. Excuse me. So we can get the Paladin burst effect going, which is going to help us out a lot. And yes, of course, in typical Dystopia video fashion, notifications are going to pop up. I swear I'm a professional. I'm not, but I'm going to put something up to cover those. I don't know what they are at this point, because I'm doing the commentary now, and then I'll cover the notifications later. So I'll grab some images or something to cover them up. There's going to be random stuff just flying across the screen. That's fine, though. You've all learned to love it. Not really. Okay. Break order's good. You can knock B back. And that sets him up. I want to see 65, but I don't want you healing more. So no, we're not going to do that. Okay. Alright, Gab, do your thing. Let's go. Ooh, that's nice. I love that the Gab LD batteries too. Insta brake, re-brake, battery for everyone. That's awesome. So I'm purposely not attacking the one on the right because yes, I want this to trigger. Now we're gonna launch you to get rid of this, because if we would have just used that launch right there, then yeah, we would have been in a weird spot where a launch wouldn't be set up and he's sapping us. I didn't want Keiss to be the one to initiate it, but no, we're not gonna deal with this sap, we're not gonna deal with this healing, it's not happening. It's okay, we're in a much better position now, but they're gonna do it again. I still have Jack Call and man. Okay, so we still have a decent amount of juice left. Just take this out. Yeah, see, A wants to do it. He really does. See, this was again improperly timed. And I tried to kind of cheese it here. So I'm thinking, okay, we can trigger that one. See, right here would have been the time to Ramza call. But I already set up the hero support, so I'm like, no. Which I shouldn't have done. I should have just waited. And then spam hero supports at the end, but it's fine. If anything, we'll just let Gabranth do it. Stop doing that. I hate that. God, I hate that. Oh yeah, right here. I tried to like... Maybe Jack can launch. No. They don't let him, of course. But that's okay. Get some battery into it. Perfect. I like how they spin when you launch them. Like frisbees. Okay. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Ramza call. Since they're done with that stupid healing, so now we can just rush them down. Finally end this awful mechanic. Beautiful. Go, Gab, go. Do it. Yes. Look at that, one skill left with the Keiss. And that's all we need. This man has an LD left. Yeah, we're gonna press that. Sit down. So yeah, this fight can be rough if you're not careful. There's a lot of BS they want to throw at you, but take your time, take a deep breath, think about your team, think about your actions, and it's gonna be okay. You can do it. Thanks for watching.